Hello beautiful people, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Oluchima, and on this channel I talk about cake business and I share tips and strategies on how to grow your cake business. I'm an international award-winning cake artist that is based in Manchester, the United Kingdom, and if you're stopping by my channel for the first time, I am really glad to have you here. And if you've always been here, thank you so much for always being here. Thank you so much for your support throughout the last year, and welcome to 2023. Happy New Year to all of you. I wish you all the best this year. I wish you amazing results. I wish you testimonies. I wish you a rewarding, a fruitful, and a fulfilling one. Okay, so we made it, and I'm happy that we are here. Okay, so today I'll be talking about what I would refer to as your cake business starter for the year, or like your starter for the year, like what you need to know if you are starting a cake business, what you need to know if you want to start a cake business, what you need to know basically before you just start your cake business. So it's the same thing. Starting a cake business in 2023, what you need to know. Starting a cake business in 2023, what you need to know. Now, this is a topic that promises to be exciting, and if you're interested in learning what I have to say or hearing what I have to say and learning from me, then you want to stick around because I'll be right back. And you're welcome back. So when it comes to the topic of starting a cake business, I like to break it down into little bites that you can easily chew, that you can easily understand. And I break it into subtopics and take them one by one so that you understand and are able to drive the message home without making it look so complicated or without making it look complicated. Now, I usually use the question method. So I would say if you're starting a cake business, you want to start with your why. So that's the first question I'm talking about. Start with your why. Now you're going to ask yourself this question: why in the first place? Why cake business? I mean, there are tons of other things that I can do. There are lots and lots of other businesses that I can do, but I have chosen, or my mind is tilting towards, or I have a dream, or I have the desire to start a cake business. You want to ask yourself why. This keeps you going, and when you begin to face challenges, you begin to face roadblocks. So like that book, I don't know who wrote that book. I will just say start with why. Okay, so what is your why? Is it because you're looking for money? You want an extra source of income? You want to be able to travel around the world? Yes, cake business can sponsor your trips around the world. So I want to travel around the world, or I'm passionate about this, or I have the skill for this. Whatever it is, you need to write down your why, and you need to know why you want to do this, because it is not something that you do just for the fun of it. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of commitment, creativity. It takes a lot of time and sacrifice. It takes a lot of things basically. So you need to know your why before you start your cake business. Okay. Now, the second question is our what. So what do I need to know before starting a cake business? What classes do I need to take before starting the cake business? What are the tools that I need to get before starting the cake business? Are there certification courses that I need to take? Do I need to attend the cake class? This one I would answer for you. Of course, you need to take a cake class, and I've made a video on attending cake classes, what you need to know before you sign up for a cake class. You can watch that video. You can watch the video actually. So I'm gonna link it somewhere so that you can see and you can learn and you can watch that video. So you need a cake class. Okay, so if you're answering that question, what cake classes do I need to take? You need to take a baking course. You need to take a cake decorating course as well. When I started my own journey a little over 10 years ago, I did a cake baking course first of all. I think, yes, it was just baking for 2 weeks, and then I went back to do it was a cake and buttercream. Yeah, it was a cake and buttercream class. So I did baking the first week, I think, and then I went the second week was a buttercream class, and then I went again to do baking, buttercream, and fondant decorating. So that was how I started basically. So you need to look for a good place where you can do your cake classes. So these are the questions of what do I need to know, what connections do I need to have. So questions like, what kind of cake business do I want to run? Do I want to run a cake business and a cake accessories, cake supplies business? Do I want to do a cafe sort of cake business where I would have cakes, and then people can also come in for tea, they can come in for coffee, they can come in for just to relax, leisure? Do I want to have a place where I have a cake business and I also train on the side? I want to have a training academy, or I want to teach. I'm not talking about immediately, because of course you're still learning, but then in the long run you need to have long-term goals, you need to have long-term plans for your business. So what kind of cake business do I want to run? Do I want to do cakes on the go, like ready to go cakes? People can just pop into my store, buy a cake and go, or do I need to have just a space where I can stay to decorate? when I was doing my own business back home in Nigeria, I wasn't selling ready to go cakes. I just had a studio where I was staying to bake and decorate my cakes. I take orders, do everything there basically. So I did not have a showcase or display of my cakes where you could come buy like that. So, and that was my choice. It was just that. And then I was also training on the side. I was training people. I did a lot of, at least a couple of training, let me not say a lot of, so I did a couple of training back, one-on-ones. I did a lot of trainings, one-on-one, group trainings. I did classes back home in Nigeria. So you want to decide, what kind of cake business do I want to run, right? So these are some of the questions that I can think about. If I can remember some other ones, I will definitely pop them somewhere, maybe on the screen or in the comments, so that you can help and you can answer those questions, and it can be a guide to you starting out your cake business. Now, the third question is who? Who are the people that I want to sell to? Who are going to be my customers? Who am I going to buy cake supplies from? Who are going to be my customers? Who do I want to serve, basically? Do I want to just do wedding cakes and wedding cakes alone? Am I going to be running a niche kind of cake business? I know back home in Nigeria it wasn't a thing. In Nigeria, we usually do cakes for like everybody. But here, there are, even before I got here, I got to know this, that there are people that are, sort of niche, like they have niche cake businesses. Some are just strictly catering to brides. They do wedding cakes. Some do some sort of children's cakes, kids cake, but they don't do kids things cake. So you can't see like a frozen cake on their portfolio, on their page. You can't see what you call Sesame Street cakes. You can't see all of that. So who are the people that you want to be serving? Are you going to be serving the mass market? Are you going to be serving the, what class of people? Or who do you want to serve? Basically, you need to know, who am I going to be buying my cake supplies from? Even the question was talked about in number 2. Who am I going to be learning from? If I want to go to a cake class, or if I want to enroll for a cake class, or I want to go for a cake class, who am I going to be learning from? You need to have all these questions right at your fingertips, so that, like, it's like planning. You plan. You don't just wake up one morning and say,
I want to start a cake business. I want to start a cake business.
And then you just start a cake business. You need to plan. Okay, for some of us, we really didn't know where we were heading. We really didn't have plans, but then we just, took it one day at a time, one step at a time. But right now, you have a guide, and you have the opportunity to hear from someone like me who can say, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to write down, this is what you need to know before starting out your cake business. Someone like having a cake business plan. So what do you want to do? Who do you want to cater? Whose needs do you want to cater for? All right, these are some of the questions that you should be answering when it comes to the who. Now, the next question is when. Please pardon the weather. Today it's gloomy, so it's been raining, so it's that kind of, but just pardon the weather, okay? Pardon me and pardon the weather. So the next question is when. When do I want to start this cake business? Am I starting now? This is January. It's the perfect time to start whatever you want to do. Everybody's all fired up. Everybody's gingered. Everybody's like, I want to start a fresh start. I want to do this thing I've been meaning to do my whole life. Now it's a new year. Part of my new year resolutions is to start doing the things that I want to do, to live my life and all of that. When do you want to start? Are you starting this January? Or do you need this January to plan? And are you looking to start in the next 3 months? Are you looking to start by the half of the year? When exactly do you want to start? You need to have that in mind. Are you ready to start like right now? If you're ready to start right now, then all good and fine. But there are some things that you need to know before you start. So that's just the basic question of when. When do I want to start? Do I want to start do I want to go for a training first? Am I looking to go for a training first? Even when do I want to go for my cake class? You need to put that into consideration. If you're someone that needs a cake class, actually, when are you going to go for this cake class? And then when are you starting? Or are you starting first before you go for a cake class? Which one do you want to do? Of course, we know that there are people that say that they're self-taught, so they learn from YouTube and then they maybe go for a brush-up class or an advanced class later. But you need to actually know when you're starting your cake business. It is good to work with timelines. It keeps you accountable and it helps you work towards the goal. So you just have it in your mind. I'm starting this. I'm looking to start my cake business in the next 3 months. I'm looking to start my cake business February. I'm starting my cake business in the next few weeks and all of that. It helps you. So work with a timeline and know when you want to go for your cake class, when you want to start your cake business as well. Now, the next question I'll be answering is the how. How am I going to source for the things that I need? How am I going to raise the funds that I need for this business? How am I going to register for my cake class? How am I going to deliver my cakes? What are the things that I need to know? How am I going to, get customers? How am I going to build my customer base? These are some of the things that you need to answer. How, very, 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 very important. But I don't want you to start with how, and that's why I left it for the last, because if you start thinking of that, you probably get into a mood where you're overthinking, and then you get to a point of being paralyzed, what we call analysis paralysis. It's something I tweeted about a few days ago. So you get to that point where you're just basically paralyzed in code, because you can't take action again, because you've thought, you've thought of so many things, and then you can't start. So first of all, start with your why, and then you now think of other questions, and then you get to your how. So how am I going to deliver my cakes? How am I going to run my cake business? Actually, do I need to get extra hands? Or am I going to be doing it alone? How do I intend to start? Where am I going to start from? If you're thinking about where, okay, let me pop this question in the where. So where am I going to start my cake business from? Am I going to start from home? Where is the exact space I'm going to be using for my cake business? For me, I started, I think, in the kitchen, and then I moved to my living room at some point before I moved out. So, when I got my own space. So where, how am I going to just run this cake business? Do I need to get a hand now? How am I going to build my customer base? I've talked about that before. Am I going to be using social media? Am I going to be doing offline? Am I going to, do freebies? Whatever it is, just figure out these questions. At least you should be answering. I don't want to put a specific number. Let me not put you under pressure, but at least you've answered a good number of questions under this. Okay, so please do your due diligence and answer these questions. If you answer these questions, you're going to get clarity on what you actually want. So I'm thinking to make this a 2-part video so that I don't make it long, or do I just go ahead with what I have to say? So the next thing is I would encourage you to have a solid foundation. So just have a good foundation. I can't overemphasize the importance of having a solid foundation when it comes to starting your cake business. You should have a good knowledge. You don't want to start out on a wrong footing. You don't want to start out on a bad note. So look for a class where you can get a solid foundation in baking. Another thing I would say is very, very important is to know what works in the environment you're in your locality, in your region, in your country, in the country where you're resident in. Please know what works. Know if it's something that you can just start, or you need to do, a series of registration or take some certification exams. Know what works. Okay, don't just wake up and take decisions and then you find yourself in trouble, or you get caught on the wrong side of the law. Please make your inquiries, ask people that have been there before, read online, research, and know what you need to do before starting a cake business. But if you're in somewhere like Nigeria, I don't think there's much ado about starting a cake business. If you want to start, I think you can just basically start. I don't know if there are new regulations or new rules now, but I'm talking about based on my experience over the last couple of years being a baker in Nigeria. So we don't have that, do this exam, register here, and all of that. You can do things, take it in your stride, but there are some things. I'm not saying that there are no legal implications, or there are no things that you need, or obligations that you need to fulfill. Of course there are. Like, you need to pay your taxes, like you need to do your health, there's this health test that you do for your customers. You pay your taxes to the, I think, local government, to the federal government. You also need to pay for your premises. There are things that you need to do, right? So, but there's no rule that is holding you back when you want to start. At least you need to register your business as a corporate entity along the line. But right at the beginning, there is nothing really that you need to do. Please correct me if I'm wrong. There's nothing really that you need to do if you want to start a cake business back home. So please know what works in the environment where you're in and act accordingly. Another thing I would say is that you should treat your business like a business, basically. So treat your business like one. The way you treat your business and the way you start out is the way you're going to carry on with your business. Don't take decisions that would be hard for you to change along the line. Don't give freebies, or start doing discounts just because you want people to buy from you, just because you want people to get to taste your cakes and everything. Let it be a balance. Okay, treat it like a business so that other people will treat it like a business. Come out with a professional front. I understand that at the beginning it might not be that easy when you talk about like branding, positioning, and everything, but if you've been on this channel and you've been watching my videos, you know that there are easy ways to go about this. It's not cast in stone, and you can do what works for you. I've made a video about branding as well. If you're starting out, that video is very good. It talks about basics of branding. I don't know if I should treat this topic again because it's really a wide topic, but I'm going to link that video somewhere where I talked about branding your cake business. At least that's something you need to know. some simple things that you can do to help your cake business look good from the beginning. So treat it like a business, come out like a professional. Don't just do things haphazardly. Don't just leave things to chance. Don't just feel, oh, I can just give people cakes because of my family members. I can just do free cakes because of my friends. I can just give them free cakes. I can just keep giving free cakes every time I'm giving free cakes, or I'm doing cheap cakes and everybody knows me as the cheap cake lady. If you want affordable, cheap cakes, come and all of that. Don't label your business in a way that it will affect you in the long run. So treat it like a business. Maintain a professional front. Be professional in your communications, in your online presence, in your offline presence, in whatever you're doing. Just know that you are a business, especially if you know that you're in for a business. You're in this for business. Treat it like a business, absolutely, and don't let anything make you do. Treat it in a way that will make people look down on your business. You know, there's a way you carry your front, you carry your business that people would know that, okay, this looks good. I think I can buy from her. She looks professional enough. I love the branding of this business. I love the tone of this business. I love the look of this business. I love everything about it. So please bear this in mind. This is very, very important. And finally, what is your long-term plan? How do you intend to keep going on the days when you don't feel like, on the days when you feel like giving up? On the days when you feel like giving up, because trust me, there are days when you feel like giving up. There are days when you feel like you cannot do this anymore. What is that plan that will keep you going? How are you going to keep the cash flow of your business? How are you going to sustain keeping your customers? How are you going to, sustain customer retention? What plans do you have customer retention? And how do you want to keep this going? Basically, these are some of the things that you need to bear in mind if you're starting a cake business. Please, if you have any other questions and you feel I've not touched any part, or you're not clear about some areas, you feel some areas are great, please let me know in the comments and I'll answer your questions. And if you watched the video up to this point, thank you so much for watching the video up to this point. I tried to squeeze everything. Of course, this is not all that I have to say, but I don't want the video to be extra long, okay? So thank you so much for watching this video. Happy New Year once again, and don't forget to click the like button, please, to show your support and to help me gain some visibility for this video. Until I see my next video, stay happy, stay safe, and stay blessed. Please subscribe to my channel if you're yet to subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel if you're yet to subscribe. God bless you. Love you so much.